fixed the audio. Let's go. Let's go. I think I fixed the audio. Okay. Let me just close a couple windows. Okay, we are back. I got my snack. I got my drink. Cracking open a cold one. There's no boys here, so cracking open a cold one by myself. Okay. So we're gonna go back to last time the stream didn't even work. I did a bunch of stuff and the stream didn't even work. But whatever. So we're just gonna continue. We're playing as Hamlet, and we are going to go see Ophelia to get some ideas on how to kill our uncle Claudius. So here we go. We go down to Ophelia's place and knock on her door. Who is it? She calls. It's me, sweetie, you say, opening the door and stepping into her room. You haven't seen each other for a while. It's so great to see her. You run up and throw your arms around her and you kiss. It's just like old times. You hold her arm's length and look into her eyes. Listen, you say, and then you go murder Claudius. You wait until it's 2 a.m. planning to sneak into Claudius's room and give him the old stabby stab, but on your way there you find him passed out in the hallway. There's a bottle of booze in his hand. He really is a cartoon drunk. This is gonna be real easy. You hold your hand over his mouth so he can't scream and slit his throat, and he's dead within a minute. Ta-da! You leave quietly, making sure not to be seen, and head down to the shore to wash your blood-soaked hands and blood-soaked clothes. The ocean water cleans off the blood quickly, which is great because you heard it was hard to get out the damned bloodstains. Turns out, nope, it's actually really easy. You're glad you stayed cool and rational and didn't freak out at all during this process. Good job, champ. You walk home in your wet clothes, change into adorable pajamas, get into bed, and fall asleep. Content in the knowledge that you were right to murder a dude and that you even had supernatural forces on your side, your dreams are generally peaceful. There's some sex stuff in there too, but whatever, man, it happens. Don't even worry about it. It's honestly not a big deal. In the morning, you act super surprised that Claudius got killed. What? You say, waving your hands in the air? Come to think of it, that was probably a little much, but everyone bought it, so phew. And then later you become king. And check it, your economic policies are both wise and fair, and your country becomes way prosperous. Due to economics not being a zero-sum game, you not only make the lives of your subjects better, but you actually improve the lives of those they trade with, too. Hamlet, you literally make the world a better place. Nice. All you had to do was kill a human being. The end. P.S. Oh, I meant to mention it sooner, but one day you step on a butterfly that has the cascade effect of preventing not one, but 2 worldwide wars from occurring centuries down the line. So good job all around, I'd say. Keep on killing everyone who interferes with your preferred version of history, I'd say. Congratulations, you were really terrific at being Hamlet. The end for real this time. And there's us killing him, and then going to bed, and becoming king, and being saving the world or whatever, and killing the butterfly that causes both world wars. Stats. Snap, snapped, 1. Poisons, misused, 1. Choices made, 8. Times you were 1, times you were not, 0. Okay, let's do that again. I think we have to start from here, and I'll just skip back to where we were. So our ghost dad is gonna tell us to kill our uncle. Yeah, we'll kill him, sure. Okay, go back to Horatio. Go home for nappy times. And then we're gonna go see Ophelia. And then instead of instead of saying listen and then going to kill our uncle without saying anything, we're gonna say, how about unbutton your jacket, fell your stockings, take your garters off, and grab Ophelia by the wrist. Okay, you do that. Ophelia looks confused during this whole production. What's wrong, Hamlet? She says, concerned. Why are you fouling your stockings? What now? I don't want to do the uncle planning yet. So the second one is, this isn't going well. Tell her you don't know why you're wasting time either. Excuse yourself and go murder Claudius. But then that's probably just gonna be the same thing. Yeah, that we just did. So continue holding her wrist and move your other hand to your forehead as if you might faint while staring at her intensely. These are some stellar choices you're making here, champ. Okay, you do the crazy things. Ophelia keeps staring at you in confusion. Finally, you sigh as big as you can, 3 times in a row. What do these sighs mean? Ophelia doesn't know, and I don't know, and neither do you. It's like you think you saved your game earlier so you can just do stupid stuff without consequences. But you can't save a game in real life, silly, so now you've got to live with the consequences of these choices. And here's one of those consequences. Ophelia's love for you has taken 15 damage. Lucky for you, she still loves you a whole heck of a lot. Eventually, you run out of sighs and get up and leave, but rather than walking out of the room like a regular person, you look over your shoulder, lock eyes with her, and walk out of the room and around the corner without ever breaking that eye contact. You're lucky you didn't walk into a wall. You know what? I think you've made enough choices for a while. Move over, I'm driving. You decide to go see what Claudius is up to. So you walk in on your mom and fake dad as they're trying to run the country, but it turns out they were talking about you anyway. Polonius is there too. He's talking to you like you're touched in the head. Hey, he thinks you're crazy. Maybe that's because of all the dumb decisions you've been making. So in an effort to save this, we're going to assume that you were just pretending to be crazy, because that way all of this kind of makes sense, and nobody would ever suspect a crazy person of committing a murder, right? This is literally the best option we've got left, and this is what you've reduced us to. I've gone back and rewritten the story so that in your talk with Horatio now you say, I might act crazy for a while, just be cool. You can go back and check, it's totally there. Okay, so it turns out Polonius considers himself a riddle master, and he's going to ask you 3 riddles to determine if you're sane or not. Riddle the first. Do you know who I am, he says. Since you're now just acting crazy, this gets a little easier. Normally I'd give you the choice between a reasonable answer and a crazy answer, but I figure now you want to pick the reasonable one just to screw things up, and I swear to God, there will be a method to your madness if it kills me. So here are your options. Say, I don't know who you are, maybe you're a pimp. I know you're looking for the option to say, yeah, you're Polonius here, but you know what, I'd like to be in charge. Say, I don't know who you are, maybe you're a pimp. Go back and check and see if I rewrote the story. Yeah, I want to go see if the story's rewritten. You walk back to where Horatio is waiting for you. Listen, Horatio, never speak of this whole me and a ghost thing, okay? We've got to keep it a secret. That's cool, says Horatio. No, I'm serious, man, you say. Some really serious stuff is going down. I need you to keep a secret. Swear that you'll never talk about this. I swear, says Horatio. Swear it, booms your dad's voice out of nowhere. He already did, you shout, and then lock eyes with Horatio and say, oh, for some reason I might act crazy for a while, but it's all an act, so just be cool. See, right there, I wasn't kidding. What now? Okay, fine. Okay, so here's the riddle. Well, our options are to say, I don't know who you are, maybe you're a pimp, or say, I don't know who you are, maybe you're a pimp. So you tell Polonius that you don't actually know who he is, but maybe he's a pimp. He doesn't get that you are, or rather that I am, rather cleverly trying to suggest that you suspect he's been trying to mess with Ophelia in order to get to you. It goes entirely over his head. Anyway, he seems satisfied with your answer, which is great. Polonius puts to you his riddle the second. What have you been reading lately, he says. Answer with the exact words I want you to say. That's right, fall in line, baby. You haven't touched a book since you came home from university on funeral/wedding breaks. You answer by making up a book you've been reading called Old Men Are Gross and Dumb. It's about how old men are gross and dumb. You conclude by saying that Polonius would be the same age as you if people aged backwards. Oh, snap. Polonius agrees that this is probably the case. Finally, he challenges you with the final of his 3 riddles. Would you like to go for a walk outside? You sure would. You say you'd like to go walk outside, straight into your grave. It's that last bit of crazy that really sells it. Somehow Polonius thinks you're actually saying something really significant about how we're all really dying from the moment we're born. He observes that in madness you're actually speaking the truth. Hey, your answers seem to have helped him reach the conclusion we wanted in regards to your sanity. Polonius says you better get going, and you say nothing would make you happier except if you somehow literally died right now. Yeah, same. And then you motorboat your lips and flick your index finger over them, making a sound. Yep, he definitely thinks you're crazy. So I hope you're happy. I've fixed this the best I can, and remember, we're just fake crazy now, okay? Okay. You can drive again. As Polonius leaves, your friends Rosencrantz and Guildenstern enter the room. What? You thought these guys were still back at university. This is awesome. What now? Do we give them high fives, slap them on the back, give them hugs, or just say hi? Let's try high fives. You raise both hands in the air, and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern understand instantly. They raise their hands as well, and you pull off the rarely seen spontaneous connected grab bro pal high five triad mutual friend times 3 multiplier. You love these guys. +2 charisma. Well, your charisma score has gone up 2 points. What do? Ask them how they've been. How have you been, gentlemen, you say? I've been okay, except for, the nightmares. Anyway, what brings you here? I'm actually going to go back a little. I want to see how the other options go for this. Oops. What happens if we slap them on the back? You've never been this slappy type, and this is actually your first time attempting this. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are facing you, so how do you get them to turn around so you can slap their backs? It's not like they'll just turn around on their own mid-conversation. If you try to maneuver around, they'll obviously keep turning to face you because that's what polite people do. Okay, maybe if you tell them to just... No, Rosencrantz, you're moving the wrong way. No, turn first. Guildenstern, no, you... Okay, Rosencrantz, you've turned all the way around. Turn back, start over. No, Guildenstern, we're not trying to flip here, okay? Okay, sure, we're flipping, but turn ways. No, okay, dude, no, let me show you. Okay, look, no, you messed it up again. Dude, no, look, it's not that hard. You're obviously both doing just to... You try to get them turned around so you can slap them on the back, but whatever it was that was going on here keeps happening. Time to cut your losses and ask them how they've been. Okay, that was interesting. What happens if we give them hugs? Hugs. Hugs for everyone all at once. You're not really the hugging type, and neither are they, but somehow, everything clicks. It works. It feels right. As the hug continues, you realize that it feels more than right. It actually feels terrific. This, my friend, is a hug for the ages. It lingers for a while longer, and when you all exit it, crazy grins on your faces, you feel way better than you did going in. +2 max stamina. Your maximum stamina has been increased by 2 points. Hug them again. More stamina. This time, it's just weird and uncomfortable. There's no other way to put it. It's awful. Achievement get more hugs. Experience the most awkward hug ever. -3 charisma. Your charisma has been reduced by 3 points. Okay, what happens if we just say hi? How have you been, gentlemen, you say? I've been okay, except for, the nightmares. Anyway, what brings you here? They look at each other. What do you mean what brings us here? Why don't we instead talk about your, plans and motivations, Rosencrantz says. Her face falls. Man, you knew it. Claudius sent for them. They're here to spy on you. Oh, really? Come on, guys. Were you saying you're to spy on me, you say? Well, yeah, Rosencrantz replies, kind of. Frig, man, I knew it, you say. Look, I'll make it easy on you. I know I've been all emo lately and mopey, and even though we don't have the words for it yet, I'm pretty sure I'm what you'd call clinically depressed, that's all. You sigh and look at them with a small smile. I guess I'm quite the piece of work, huh? You say. Would you care to explain that in more detail, Rosencrantz says. You reply... No, man, didn't you hear? I'm clinically depressed. Okay, said Guildenstern. That's cool, said Rosencrantz. Share an awkward silence was last until you break it by asking your friends about their trip over. Was the boat ride fun? It was super fun. We met an author on the way over, says Rosencrantz. An author, you say? Excited. I love authors. They're such creative minds and so handsome, too, unless they're women, in which case they're extremely the female equivalent of handsome, you say. Sexy, suggests Guildenstern. Well, I mean, not to say the men aren't sexy, too, you reply, for we all know male authors are, without exception, I say this with all my marshaled heterosexuality, also way sexy. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern nod. Rosencrantz gestures for the two of you to come closer so that he can tell you a secret. When I stare at a male author, I can feel my heterosexuality crumbling, whispers Rosencrantz. This is turning gay really fast. Makes sense, you agree. Anyway, at this point, an author walks in the room. Talk to author. Three of you and the author get to talking. She's really great. Turns out she's Christina Marlowe, the author of The Murder of Gonzago, an adventure is being chosen by you story. Can you murder your brother Gonzago and then play as your dead brother's son murder your usurping uncle? I sure hope so. Choose from over 300 different possible endings. It's one of your favorite books, and you tell her so, excitedly asking questions about characters and motivation, and how she did that thing with the choices. While the four of you talk, Polonius walks into the room and tries to work his way into the conversation, but whatever, nobody here likes him. Christina doesn't make any attempt to include him, and that makes you love her even more. You start quoting your favorite passage to her. It's a bit from the back cover, and she takes over when you forget some of the words. It goes like this. You are still really mad that your dad was killed by his brother. You decide that you should murder him for revenge, and that, my friend, is a really good idea. Do you decide to wait to murder him? No, shout you, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern in unison. Christina smiles. Polonius mutters, this is boring, but nobody cares. Excellent. Then you sneak into his room at night and stab him in the neck. A huge fountain of blood erupts from his neck under such pressure that it bursts through the ceiling and forms a glorious red geyser above the roof. Some kid walking by sees the geyser and says, whoa, and while he's saying the O part of whoa, blood lands in his open mouth. It's so awesome, you have earned 1,000 points, and the whoa kid also earned 50 points. The three of you laugh and cheer and applaud, while Christina smiles politely and Polonius stands around with his arms crossed. Whatever, I wanted to wait before killing him, he grumbles. Christina recited her book with such heartfelt emotion that you actually feel pretty bad about not murdering your own uncle yet. Wait a minute, that gives you an idea. Go murder your uncle. Instead of murdering your uncle, go grab your copy of the book. Then you can get it signed, and then you can see if you get Claudius to read it. And then if he chooses the murder your brother path, and then if he looks guilty, you'll know he did it, even though the ghost already investigated it and told you he did. Okay, buddy, one thing at a time. First, you go back to your room and get your copy of the book for Christina to sign, which she does. To Hamlet, best wishes. I hope you like to read these words I wrote on a piece of paper. Cheers, Christina, she writes. Amazing, it's perfect, and now you've got the perfect book to entrap your uncle. You excuse yourself and go back to your room to flip through Gonzago again. You get absorbed into the adventure, and a few playthroughs later, you're convinced. It really is a great book, and it should work perfectly for your plan. Now all you need to do is find Claudius. I'm pretty sure he's in the royal court, dude. Let's take a nap. Okay, I mean, you are already in your room, so I guess that kind of makes sense. You decide it's nap rhyme prime time. Lying in bed, you clear your throat and hold one hand up above you. Time for naps, hooray, hooray. Naps are great, that's what I say. You fall asleep, wake up the next day with the outline of Christina's book pressed into your face. Hey, bucko, looks like you slept through the whole afternoon, evening, and night. What do? Run to the royal court with the book. You reach the room almost entirely out of breath. You try to speak, but all that comes out is a moist, wheezy panting. Oh, hey, Hamlet, says Claudius, closing the book he was reading. Your mom's here, too, as are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, and, well, basically the whole court, actually. It appears they've all gathered to watch Claudius read Christina's latest reader choice adventure, As You Choose It, subtitled. You are Rosalind and must decide who you want to marry. There's a court jester, but let's not be hasty. You could also just totally make out with your cousin Celia instead. It appears you missed the entire show. You want to read this book now instead? You say, offering up your signed Gonzago book. No, I'm good, says Claudius. In fact, I think I'm done reading books for a very, very, very long time. Oh, snap. Your whole plan is ruined. Get mad at yourself, but channel that emotion somewhere productive, like into killing Claudius like you told a ghost you would. Sure. Oh, terrific. I'm glad that the engraved invitation to choose this option finally arrived in the panel. Alright, let's do this. What do? Go murder Claudius. Yeah, it always goes that same way, so... Get mad at yourself for being a screw-up, go back to bed and nap. A good night's sleep and the quiet morning of light help you reflect and take stock of things a bit better. You didn't do what you wanted to do yesterday, true, but really all that means is you failed to commit the act of murder against your stepfather, who's actually doing a pretty alright job of running the country. Maybe you could gather evidence of his crime, present it to the court, should you, actually find evidence stronger than the hearsay of a ghost you met once. A ghost I met once, you think. Man, you do sound crazy. This whole thing is crazy. You decide to go back to school, focus on learning more, and try to put this whole thing behind you. You never find any evidence that your father died of anything other than a heart attack. You get on with your life, and it actually ends up being generally okay. And guess what? All's generally okay that ends generally okay. The end. And this must be our bedroom. There's the there's the Murder of Gonzago book, there's a knife, a skull blankie teddy bear, some porno mags under his pillow, a bunch of naked lady posters, picture of Ophelia, picture of his family, yay fencing, hawk in hand saw live, school that is in England, and Danish pride that's a picture of the Danish, like the pastry. I actually did a school assignment once that was, I drew Hamlet's bedroom. So it was actually not that different than this, to be honest. I kind of want to save this picture. Can compare it to mine later. Okay. Let's check out our score this time. Naps napped 3, poisons misused 1, stockings befouled 1, choices made 22, times you were 1, times you were not 0. I think, that might be it for now. Let's check out our achievements. We got the more hugs than one this time. That's the one we got this time. And then for the artworks, I think we only got that Hamlet bedroom one. I think that was the only, because we unlocked that one last time. So I think we only got that one artwork this time. We still have a lot to go, actually. Because there's an artwork for each ending that you can get. So that means we still kind of have a ways to go. I really hope we haven't, like, missed a bunch. Probably have. Probably missed at least 1 or 2. Alright, this one is by Dylan McConis. Dylan McConis read Hamlet for kicks at age 13, reciting the best parts aloud to her parents at breakfast. She would then set aside Shakespeare's profound commentary on mortality to read all the newspaper funny strips. You may learn the tragic results of this early choice by turning to dylanmcconis.com. Cool. Okay, I think I'm done for now. I just wanted to do a quick one. So, I'm going to exit. And I will see y'all later. Goodbye.